Welcome everyone to today's session. We are thrilled to have an inspiring alumnus with us who has taken a unique path after his engineering journey. From being a part of the computer engineering batch of 2016 to establishing himself in the music industry, Parimal Aglave has proven that passion and dedication can take you far no matter the field. With over 8 years of experience in the audio and music industry, Parimal has worked on sound design, music production, and audio engineering for both Indian and international films. Some of his notable works include the background score for the Indian feature film Simran and sound design for the Greek movie Dear Athens. He also recently collaborated with Kunal Khade for music production in an upcoming feature film. Today, Parimal is here to talk about alternative career paths and how pursuing what you love, even it's unrelated to your academic background, can lead to fulfilling opportunities. So let's dive in the learn from his journey.
Well, hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah. I don't think so. People are interested in knowing alternative career paths. Anyway, you can ask. You can ask questions.
Sir, you studied computer engineering, but now you are in a very creative field. So, when and how exactly did your music journey start?
So it all boils down to how you actually, navigate through life. And it's not like it's just one career that you need to decide. I personally feel that in your 20s, it's like the most crucial years to experiment with your career, given that you have that kind of privilege. So you should experiment a little. Important part is um, what it's not about what you want to do, it's about where life takes you. So for me, I just wanted to explore more options. It's just about exploring. And I went into music production and audio engineering back in 2013 or 14, I'm not sure, but yeah, 2014, I guess. When I was playing Counter Strike, because I was also into gaming back then, um, I saw this one dude who was sitting in the cyber cafe, this dude sitting beside me, and he's doing something in the software. I was very curious to know about it. I asked him, what is he doing? He said, I'm producing music. I was wondering, how can he produce music sitting in the cyber cafe? So that piqued my interest, and it increased my uh, curiosity to know more about it. And then eventually I started using the software. The first software which I got introduced to is called FL Studio. And then later, after completing my audio engineering from SAE college, I started using a lot of other softwares, and that's how I got into music industry. So yeah,
So at this point, you realize that this is what I want to do. Was it
not
a
really.
sudden
So
realization or it was some trial and error you did?
life is all about trial and error method. Trust me when I say this. Nothing will go as you have already planned. Everything has to work out in trial and error way. So for me, the one thing was for sure that I'm not going to sit for the campus placements. I was not interested in doing the placements at all. Even though it's not about just this, I had a privilege of one of my family member who was working in Cognizant. So I was getting a readily available opportunity to work in Cognizant as a network administrator L3. So yeah, I mean, sorry, L1. So yeah, I mean, it all boils down to what you want to do and what you're passionate about, where your interest lies. And eventually, when you think that, okay, fine, this is something that I want to do, you just keep going. And yeah, that's how it is. It's not like you need to really like just because everyone is following that path, you need to also follow the same path. It's fine. You have a lot of years like these early 20s. Given that I'm again saying, given that you have privilege, um, you can explore other alternative career options. You don't need to follow the same path, same career path is what I'd say. So yeah.
But as you know, pursuing degree in computer engineering is very demanding. It's like completing assignments and keeping up with the deadline. So how did you get time to manage everything and then search for your passion beside computer engineering? And also you said that I did not set for placement because you knew that you don't want to do this. So there must be a point where you realize, no, this is not my path.
Yeah, actually, I did realize it. This is not my path. It basically, when I was completing the assignments, I was doing all kinds of labs. Uh, it's not that writing assignments made me do this. It's a crucial part of your engineering journey, college journey. Um, so yeah, whether it is useful or not, or whether it's valid to keep the assignments, I'll leave that up to the critics. But for me, I think the main turning point was when I was actually looking at people doing some really creative things on their computers and laptops, and I couldn't see myself there. Like there was no motivation behind it. And meanwhile, when I was actually learning these music production softwares, specifically FL Studio, that's when I realized, okay, fine, this is something which I personally like. I enjoy sitting in front of this. And the most important indicator of something that you would love is when you sit in front of the software or application or whatever you're exploring, right? And you don't realize that the time has passed by. That's when you realize that this is something that you want to do. Uh, I used to sit for 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours after college. Forget about assignments. Assignments I used to complete within like last couple of weeks of the submission. I mean, that's the standard process. I don't think so. Anybody else would disagree. But yeah, I mean, just last couple of weeks, I used to extend my assignments. But in my daily college, I used to attend lectures and I used to go back home and sit in front of the computer, just staring at the software, spending time with it, learning for more than 6 to 8 hours. So yeah, I mean, people don't believe me that I would spend so much time after college. But yeah, I used to. I think there was this one night since it was a holiday next day. So on the Saturday, I sat for like 2 or 3 o'clock, and I slept quite late. And I started around like 4:30. So yeah, almost 12 hours. 12 hours I spent on the software. So yeah, that's basically what motivated me, inspired me to pursue this career path. So yeah,
In which year of computer engineering did you realize this?
I think in the first year itself, uh, yeah, because when I was playing Counter Strike, and like I said, in the first year itself, I got to know. At the end of the first year, I should say, yeah. So the fourth fourth semester,
That's pretty early.
yeah. No, even if you get to know about your calling late, it's fine. I mean, you can pursue. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I like sometimes what Modi ji tells you is kind of good. Like I don't want to bring politics here, but yeah, I mean what he says, pakoda talo, ye talo, and he's actually making sense to me because all you need is money end of the day. And if you understand that you have one source of income, one passive source of income where you are getting some kind of money, whatever that money is, it doesn't matter to you. Whatever you do, like these constraints are more from the human centric perspective, like societal perspective, that society puts pressure on you that you need to work, you need to do this job, and you need to do this is the kind of lifestyle that you need to live. It's not really that. Like I have seen so many people who have who are doing really great by choosing alternative career paths, and yeah, it's not it's not mandatory for you to follow the same path. I mean, you can choose it yourself whether you like it or not. Go down that path, give it your 100%, see how it works out, and then yeah, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it. You can pivot to something else.
uh, Parimal, you are sounding it so easy, but was that really easy? Because how did your parents react when you told them this? And how did you have the guarantee that you will succeed in what you are thinking your passion is? How did you have the guarantee of everything that it will work out?
No, like even if you sit for the campus placement, what is the guarantee that it will work out? So eventually, nothing has a specific guarantee. In terms of convincing my parents, it was very difficult at the initial point in time to explain them what I was doing. So हर parents का यही होता है. Like I initially, because I had conflicts with my parents, I wanted to show them that I can do a job, and that's why I did a job. I was a security analyst and network administrator at this company called as NextGen Software in Pune. So I did that for a year, and then I showed them that look, this is something that I can already do. Now let me pursue my career path, which I wanted to do. And then I did. And for a year, I was studying audio engineering. I was doing it. I wanted to do this professionally, even though I was good at it. But you know, doing it professionally, it makes a whole lot difference because then you understand the technicalities of the audio. So audio engineering was the path which I wanted to take. So after doing 1 year of that, I I did my audio engineering from the college SAE Institute. It's an internationally acclaimed college. It's a media college and it's an institution. It's not a college. So yeah, I did my audio engineering over there, and later on I started working. I immediately, as soon as I graduated from the audio engineering college, I started working. I got a job. They saw the money was rolling in. They were happy. So yeah,
So there was no point of downgrade or you felt regret of choosing this career. There was no point of regret anytime.
actually, actually no. The thing is, now I'll tell you the reality of the Bollywood industry. So the problem with Bollywood is they like here in IT, I've heard people complain about work-life balance. Just try and get into media field. You'll understand what work-life balance is. There's no work-life balance at all. When I was working for like in some movie, I had to go from. So I used to stay in Navi Mumbai, Vashi, precisely. From Vashi, I had to travel all the way to the college. I was also working simultaneously for the in a studio. So in an audio engineering studio. So from the college, I had to go to the audio engineering studio. In the audio engineering studio, I used to reach there somewhere around 12:30 ish. From 12:30 to the next midnight 3 o'clock, I used to work over there. I used to sleep there at 3:30 ish, wake up at 7:30, just brush, change my clothes. Don't I didn't even take a bath. I used to straight away go to my college, attend lectures, come back to the studio, and this I used to do it for the entire week. So it's not easy. Media industry in itself is not easy. That's what I wanted to. I forgot your question. What was it?
There was no point of regret ever you felt.
About regret, yeah. So in spite of me, like this was the point of regret when I was thinking about it twice. Have I chosen the right career path? Is this the kind of life that I want to live? And I've decided no, it's not just like you need to work in movies, like Bollywood movies. You can do a lot more things. And I'll tell you honestly, Bollywood movies pay a lot more than you think. Like media industry is flooded with cash. You have insane cash flows, especially when you're working in studios like Oral Mayhem, where I used to work, and Yashraj Studios. Uh, good money, but then it's like it's going to be project by project based. So you can make in a month probably you can make around good 2 lakhs or 2.5 lakhs, given that you are willing to compromise on the health or work life. But if you if you work a decent amount of time, you can make around like 50 grand or 60 grand, and that's the kind of work exploitation that happens in the Bollywood industry. But it's not pertinent to just Bollywood, right? You can also come up and do your freelance projects. You can also start doing freelance projects, work somewhere else as an audio engineer. And it all boils down to exploring different streams rather than just pursuing where money lies. Money will come to you eventually. You just need to keep exploring things which is working out for you and where you are getting more engagement बोल सकते हैं या traction बोल सकते हैं.
And do the background of computer engineering has helped you in any way, maybe in technicalities?
Insanely, insanely.
Okay.
I think just because I had a degree in computer engineering, I mean, not just, I personally think that the knowledge that you gain, like, I'm not just saying for the sake of it, like, I say, कोट करना है, बड़ा कुछ बोलना है तो बोल दिया. I truly believe whatever knowledge that you gain is not just with respect to the degree. Any kind of knowledge is very useful in life because knowing is owning in a way. If you know something, you own it. And it is like the dead end. So um, for me, a lot of troubleshooting, which I used to do in the studio, I was the only person who was capable of doing troubleshooting in the studio. So whenever something used to go wrong, like a plugin used to go, missing or anything, like there's VST plugins which we use in the digital audio workstation. Uh, anything that any mishap which used to happen, debugging thing, troubleshooting, I was the only person who was responsible. And a lot of people used to come and ask me कि परिमल solve कर दे यार ये क्या देख ले क्या हो गया. So we because of that, like because of computer engineering, I got to know I know how to debug, just like debugging code. You get to know how to debug any problem, troubleshoot it. It teaches you patience, but at the same time, because I had computer knowledge, I knew the 32-bit plugin will not work in the 64-bit application or software. So yeah, I mean 32-bit plugin, 32-bit application will not. It's vice versa. So yeah, slowly and steadily I got to know, and computer engineering has helped me immensely in my
That's
audio
great
engineering.
to hear that computer
Yeah,
engineering was not at all a regret. So it will help you in any way.
yeah, hands down.
The music world is always changing, especially with AI technology and streaming. So, do these changes affect your work, and how you come up with the new challenges and opportunities? Then, like you went to Hollywood too. From where do these opportunities come to you?
So this is like a very secret question. How do I get opportunities? It's like you have a USP through which you can get more opportunities. So yeah, it's not just about getting more opportunities, it's also about networking. So uh, I personally believe that cold calling, cold emailing has helped me a lot. Like I understand that you get annoyed from the people who you get calls from, like the call center people, the BPO people asking you for loans and uh, credit card and all that stuff. But to me, that's how I used to approach. And I used to go out there. I randomly used to walk into the studios asking them if there's any work. That's how initially you have to go about it. I also used to carry a piece of like a paper where I have a link or a QR code printed on a sheet where they can scan the QR code and get to know whatever work that I have done so far. That's how basically I used to send my profiles to a lot of studios. Thanks to the technology, because of the QR code and everything, it got easier because when I asked my teacher how did he do it, he told me he used to may like carry those CD cases and used to distribute CDs in every studio. So yeah, that's how it used to be earlier. But yeah, I think when it comes to about when you're talking about AI, I think AI is going to be a solution and a problem. It all boils down to how you leverage it. Uh, Most likely, like for me, most of the music production work begins with customization. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a power outage here.
Oh, it's fine.
Anyway, but we do have generators. So yeah. Anyway, I'm back.
Yeah.
Anyway, coming back to AI, I think uh, what AI can't do right now is it can give you genres, it can give you everything, but it can't really give you customization. The
Mm,
minute macro level details that you need to add to your music. So whenever somebody comes and asks me that AI can do this for me, why should I come to you?
mm, mm,
There's one question like AI can do this, but the macro level details and the changes that you want in your songs, the level of customization that you expect, the kind of soul that you want to put in your songs is something which AI cannot really achieve at the moment. So yeah, that is my one counter to all of the clients who come to me. But yeah, sure, AI they can leverage AI. I mean, all more power to them. Those people who wants to leverage AI for the music production. I I'm not creating any hurdle or obstruction as such that no people shouldn't use AI. It's just that you know AI
It's
can't
making
do
simpler.
that macro level. Yeah, macro level details AI cannot add something that you would want to. Yeah.
And as you mentioned, there's no work-life balance. So now you're sitting in an office. So is your job 9 to 5, or you have to work anytime when the call gets in?
No, it's not like that. My current job right now, though, it's fixated to a 9 to 5 schedule only, 9 to 6 actually. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, there's no like this is the office that I'm working in right now is very flexible in terms of the timings. So yeah,
Oh. A lot of students have passion outside their studies, like music, art, gaming. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to turn their side gig into a full-time career? And what's something you learned that hard way?
I think the most important thing is first thing you need to do is monetize your passion. You need to the way you monetize it is by counting human hours. You need to put in like it's not like you're putting hours to others, but you need to kind of rate your hours to yourself. Like for instance, the way I used to charge. So I used to be a mixing and mastering engineer. I still am a mixing and mastering engineer. I get like for typically a track like mixing one track or mastering one track. They used to pay us very fixated amount. This is the amount that I will pay to you. It roughly starts with $100 to $50. Depends upon the number of tracks, the number of stems. Stems का मतलब होता है the audio tracks, the number of instruments that were recorded or the instruments that were produced. So for mixing and mastering, I've realized this one thing. If you fix a budget, if you work on a fixated budget, it doesn't really work because then you are not accounting for the changes. The client may ask you that you need to do all these changes, you need to incorporate these changes. So you're working extra. But since the client has already done the payment for you, but you're working at the same amount. So rather, what you should do is you should actually charge hourly on the hourly basis. Like you work for so many hours and you charge them. That's how you should go about it. And it's not just with respect to client, even if you're working for yourself. Like for example, if I don't have any client, but I'm working for myself, I've decided to work for 8 hours on a music project. So I will keep that hourly base charges to myself so that you at least know that okay, you have invested this much amount of time. This is the money that you have to charge yourself, and this is the outcome that you want from the project that you're working on. So after 8 hours, if I produce some music, I need to know that what is the money that it will give me. This is the kind of revenue that I want to generate from the product or from the piece of music that I've made. Now, how to monetize it is very important, and you need to study it very properly, which I didn't because that was the biggest mistake of my life. I didn't know how to monetize my music or whatever art that I created. So, first thing, you are a musician, you have copyright. Learn more about intellectual properties, study more on royalties. I mean, it's not just related to music. IP, intellectual property, is related to a lot more things. Copyright is very important. Royalties is very important. So even if you're producing like a single video uh, and you want to monetize it, you can. You can upload it on YouTube. There are 10 ways to monetize it. You need to see how to monetize the video. So that is the most crucial advice that I would give who are starting out in the alternative, who are
So
planning to. Yeah.
making value out of the passion is important.
Yes.
And as you said that you had done so many trial and errors, and what those trials included, was it always about music?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about music. So when I got into music production, I just realized that I suck at it. Like I used to suck at it, big time. And my music used to sound like some, you know, some kid, some, you know, 2 year
Poem.
old, 2 year, yeah, poem, 2 year old just playing xylophone, random xylophone. That's how my music, and it stayed like that for at least 3 years. After 3 years, I used to keep putting my music out just like randomly out there, expecting that someday my music tracks will get heard by someone. And I never knew about the steps. And slowly and steadily, when I started with the whole process, I got to know what the process is. So it's not just about making music, but you need to make music which is refined, a good product that could sell in the market. It's all about business when you when you're getting into monetization. So yeah, then step by step process. Once you get into it, you kind of get to know the entire market, how the business works. So until and unless you're not going to get your hands dirty, uh, things are not going to work. You would never know. That's what I said. Like your early 20s is basically the time when you should experiment a lot with whatever you want to do with your life. That's basically the time where you can get into it, get your hands dirty, see, explore the career options, whichever career options you want to choose, and then maybe in your late 20s you can, if it doesn't work out, you can get back to whatever you were doing. But if it works out, nothing like it. Or you can also continue that as a side hustle or a side gig. Yeah,
So how to find that passion? It feels scary, like whole life will go trial and error, and I did not find my passion. Then what to do?
it's not like you need to. So even if you, I've seen a lot of people following their passion at the age of 40.
But how do
So
you find this passion and get to know ki, yeah, this is my passion after 3 years or after 5 years? It's not an instant thing now. You have to invest
correct,
some kind of time.
correct. So it's all about investing your time. Rather than focusing on social media, I would rather sit on music production. That is something which I would probably want to do. And I can't really guide you to find your passion. I think that is a very spiritual thing that you should kind of embrace it yourself. You should kind of figure it out because it's you. If I tell you my pathway, how did I figure out my passion? It won't apply. The same thing will not be applicable to you. You might find 10 other different ways to explore your passion and just invest in it. And personally, I think the more we are moving towards AI, the more I think that the art field is going to get more lucrative relatively sooner because AI is going to capitalize on the market where the most of the coding work, most of the technical stuff is going to get leveraged. So
Right.
you don't really have much option but to explore other alternative careers, and I think that's the future. And I think that's going to be quite. It all boils down to how it turns out. We don't know about the future. This is just one of my presumptions. I'm being extremely optimistic. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, in your early 20s, I'm again saying the same thing. The word privilege, I'm using it a lot because if you don't have any kind of pressure from your parents, and you don't have to make that immediate penny, immediate money. If you have that kind of privilege, then you can explore your alternative career path. But if you want to make immediate money, so I would suggest that you do this as a side gig and just keep monetizing it as long as it pays you the equal amount of money that you are getting from your active income. And then you can pivot to it whenever it makes it makes a decent amount of money. So yeah.
Right. Thank you. Uh, it's last question from my side. What's one key takeaway from your journey that you think could inspire us? And also, as you are saying, early 20s are very important. Give us some advices of do's and don'ts because we are restricting ourselves too much, I think, due to social
So
media pressure or peer pressure.
yeah, I can see, to be honest, don't fall into the trap of herd mentality. I have always been against of going with the herd mentality. Matlab, whatever everyone is doing just for the sake of it, you also do it. That's actually not true. I would suggest that you listen. It's a very personal thing for you to select what you want to do in your life, what you feel like doing it, and uh, if not right now, you're not going to miss out. Like, just prepare yourself that if you want to live a life like I see, I get it where you're coming from. You see on the Instagram where everyone is posting about their social life, going to their restaurants, having dinners out there, enjoying life. You'll also see a lot more people going to going abroad after doing the GRE and then living it out. That's that's actually not true. Like you don't get to see the half of it. Like my sister is in Canada, to be honest. I have seen her miseries. The people who go out for GRE, the kind of lifestyle they show on Instagram, it's all fake. And I'll tell you, I'll honestly tell you. This also includes my sister, my very own sister. So yeah, I mean, I get to see her miseries, and I also get to see her social media. The kind of post that she does on social media, it's extremely contradicting, dichotomous from the kind of lifestyle she is living right now. So you need to realize that one thing that everyone is struggling. Whatever glamour that you see on social media is not there. It's all fake. So instead of following that herd mentality where everyone is posting about, oh, I am living it all, I'm living my life to the fullest. Be truthful, be real, be you. That's what I would say. And once you have that authenticity, that that uniqueness, what you have, authenticity is what is being more appreciated these days. So you need to be more authentic towards yourself, authentic, real about yourself, pragmatic, practical, and you need to start questioning about all the prejudices or preconceived notions. Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Where are you getting this thought process? The key, I need to do this job only. Is it my parents? Is it from the societal pressure? Is it, am I truly wanting this? Do I truly need it? So this is one thing that everyone needs to realize. You need to start introspecting and digging deep more into yourself. Where is all these thoughts, preconceived notions, prejudices coming from? Am I, if I don't live a decent, like, if I not if I don't make probably a lakh or 2 lakh rupees a month, will I still be able to live a decent living? If I'm earning around like 60 to 80, 70K a month, will it be enough for me to survive? Do I really need more than that? Why do I need more than that? Why do I need a car? Why do I need a bike? Why do I need a house, a bungalow? I mean, you need to start asking. Like, of course, everyone needs it, but then because of that need of the societal pressure, that need stems out your pressure, and in that pressure, you haphazardly chose to choose a career which is dissatisfying. I've seen most of the faces who are working in IT very, very dull. And you look at me right now. So even if I'm working as a side gig in IT, I'm still active. I'm still fresh. I'm still new. I'm actually working in cybersecurity, and I'm also working as a part time in music. So yeah, that's how it is. Uh, I'm still fresh. I'm still exploring my life. I haven't given up on my music. I haven't given up on anything. But life is all about introspection, looking at things, not following. Okay, I hate this. Okay, unfortunately, I'm in Bangalore, so yeah, the electricity keeps fluctuating here.
It's
But
fine.
anyway, yeah, the whole point I'm trying to make is question everything, including your thoughts, including your prejudices, and from there you'll get some kind of clarity. You'll get okay, this is something which I want to do. This is something which I don't want to do, and there's no pressure in doing something, and this is something which I would want to like to pursue. Now, even if that thing is going to give you less money, you'll be happy. Just make this up in the mind. If you have that thought process, if you're willing to live with whatever little that you get from the job, or whatever more that you get from the job, uh, just be content.
Exploring yourself is way more important so that you can get to know
before
what you
before
want.
yeah
Huh?
before making any career choices, I think you need to explore, you need to introspect.
We have a question in the chat box. What's the most fun project you have ever worked on? And is there a track or film that made you more passionate about your work?
To be honest, most of the work in the film industry, I'll tell you, most of the work that you thought, oh, this is so sounding so good. I mean, this is something uh, which is, you know, like which is the best work I've done so far, the producer or the director will come and he will ask you to ditch this. So it's not it does it has to be with respect to the because see as when it comes to the film, it all boils down to how the director is viewing the scene. So it is not your perception that is counting; it is his perception what counts the most. So ultimately, whenever like whichever project that you work on, you always end up listening to the director and changing the soundtrack, and ultimately whatever music piece that you've made, which director likes, you end up hating it. So yeah, that's the kind of scene in Bollywood. But yeah, the personal project that I used to work on, like I have observed this one thing. Whenever money comes in, it takes the fun out of it. In whichever project that you work, if there's money involved, it takes the fun out of it because then you're kind of uh, liable
Because
to
I
listen
guess
to.
the one who is paying you, everything has to
Correct.
be done according to him. You
According
are
to
not
that
the
person.
controller.
Yeah, yeah. And it also, it's completely understandable. Like if that person, instead of having a violin, he wants a guitar in the track, it's fine. Like sure, why not? So, yeah. But then yeah, it takes away the charm. So more you get more fun when you're working on your personal projects. But yeah, something which I love doing. I think Simran movie was really nice. I didn't do much. It was just a little bit of background scoring that I did, but I enjoyed it. It was good. The studio
Wo-
was good. Like it had a 5.1 channel. Special
Oh,
thanks to Pranit Dada. So, yeah.
okay. There's another question. You are working in two parallel careers simultaneously, cybersecurity and music. So, do you see yourself continuing both long term, or would you like to switch over to one of them sometime in the future?
So it's a tricky question though, but here's my 2 cents. See, I have not decided. Like I said, I don't see myself following the herd. Even if I've jumped into cybersecurity. This is something which I am passionate about. I like cybersecurity. That's why I've gotten in. Otherwise, I would have gotten into some kind of software development coding. Cybersecurity is one field which I was always passionate about. But there was this one incident which happened to me, and I'll tell you the story. I got hit by a ransomware attack, and I don't know if any one of you are aware of it. Ransomware is a virus which kind of infects your computer. All of my music projects, production projects, all of my mixing mastering projects, everything, each and every file was encrypted. And there was no
Oh,
decryption key. I had no other option but to pay some guy sitting in China a cryptocurrency of 1 BTC. Only then he would decrypt my files and yeah, let me have all of my files. So that was a turning point for me because I got motivated by it. And eventually, I wanted to see what is this whole ransomware thing about. And it piqued my interest. And slowly and steadily, I started learning more and more about it. And then I got into penetration testing because I liked what I was doing. Basically, I wanted to experience the other person who has attacked me, how he was feeling. And eventually, I become a red teamer. Red teamer is red teaming, and cybersecurity has two sections: red teaming and blue teaming. So right now, I'm into red teaming operations. We are actually hacking AI, artificial intelligence. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, I think the work has been great here, and yeah, I'm not going to leave music, but I've just realized that if I want to work in music field, it would either be Bollywood, or it would either be some kind of project. Like I said, if anything, if you monetize, like if money gets involved, it takes away the fun out of it. And I was not really enjoying the work that I was doing when the money was involved, especially in the music. So that's when I decided ki for the monetization, for the monetary sake, I would probably go for something else. But I want to keep music. I want to keep making music for myself and not for anyone else. That was a profound decision that I've realized. It's not like I was not making money. I was also affiliated with Law Stories, if you are aware. Law Stories is India's premier DJs. They went to They also played in Tomorrowland, and
Okay.
me and Prayag Mehta, the member of Law Story, one of the member of Law Stories, we were in excellent terms. We were really in really good terms. And if I want to make money, advance in my career, I mean, he was more than happy to support me in whatever aspirations I had. Um, Prayag Mehta, but eventually I've realized that the moment money gets involved, it takes away the fun out of it. So I might as well do something else, but keep the music fun alive for me.
Okay. Initially, you had no guidance in the music industry, right? Everything you built was of yourself.
Yes.
Uh, that's really great and inspiring. Self-made.
No, it's not. I'll truly tell you, like, if you have a passion, that's what I'm saying. Early 20s is your time because then you can get your hands dirty and get deep and see exactly what the world is. You get to explore. Like you, as long as you don't enter the industry, you will never get to know what is there. You know what actually works in the industry. As soon as you step your foot in, you'll realize that okay, fine, all of these things, this is how the industry works. This is the monetization, the way you can earn money, and then you get to decide, okay, fine, whether I want to continue or not. But as long as like you have to take that initial step, the
Mhm.
first step of entering that industry, whichever industry it is, be it graphic designing, be it music production, be it audio engineering, anything.
Right. Experimenting is so much more important.
Yeah.
We have one another question. If you could go back to your college days and give yourself advice, what would you say? Anything you would have done differently or something you are glad you stuck with?
Uh, I would tell myself, be practical about music. Focus on monetizing your music. Focus on music business part. Focus on how to earn royalties. If you want your music pieces to work, invest in it. Like ultimately, whatever art form that you're creating, everything needs to be monetized. And for the monetization, it's ultimately the product that you are going to sell in the market. So I would say rather focus on monetization than the art of it, because every like art, you can make art. It's not that difficult to make art. It's not that difficult to hone your art. It is very difficult to monetize everything. So yeah, I'd go and tell myself focus on music business rather than focusing on honing my craft. Like that can be done simultaneously. So yeah.
Okay. Uh, Next question. Could you say how AI is applied in sound engineering? Maybe you can mention few real-time examples where you worked on. This question is from Priya ma'am.
Okay. Artificial intelligence is a thing which is booming, and it has helped audio engineers immensely. Like there's this plugin called as Isotope. Isotope Ozone is one of the plugin which is used for mixing and mastering. Earlier, mixing the mastering process is very difficult because it boils down to what kind of streaming platform you go for. Like uh, you know about different streaming services, right? Like Spotify, Apple Music,
Yeah, yeah.
YouTube Music, Beatport. Each and every streaming platform have a different uh, loudness standards. It's called LUFS, which is called loudness unit full scale. It is measured in dB.
Okay.
So there's like it's a lot more technical to answer, but the whole point is with earlier to get to that level where your sound is kind of sounding unique in every single platform, you had to go through an immense process of audio engineering. But with the AI, now it has become very easy for audio engineers to master your track because you put on Ozone. Isotope Ozone plugin, and you just click on the AI assistance. It automatically gives you a LUFS reading. It automatically gives you a starting point of the mastering your track, and then from there onwards, you can just tweak a little bit, and you're good to go. Like if I had to master a track earlier without Isotope Ozone AI, it used to take almost 4 to 5 hours. Now I can do it in an hour.
Oh, time saving.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of things AI is doing. It's saving time, but yeah, AI is also taking a lot of jobs, by the way. That's
AI is producing some kind of music too. If we tell him, I want a guitar, I want piano, and it combines everything and makes a music. So, do you think AI? Some people say that AI is not creative, but here AI is creative.
definitely, like I said, AI can make most of the like I said, you want the AI to create music for you. It can do it easily, but the whole point being, it can even do it beautifully. I'm not saying that AI is less competent than me. All I'm saying is, if you want to customize it, you can talk about, let's say, the macro level details. If let's say you have given a prompt to the AI that I want a guitar, I want the vocals in it, I want um, drums, I want bass, I want violin, I want cello, all kinds of instruments. Now tell me, if you want that one note to move from here and there, that one sur, one note or a couple of notes to change, can you ask the AI to do that?
Mm. It
No,
won't
right?
understand only.
Yeah, no. Even if it will understand, it will all on with every alternate alteration, you will get a different product, which was very different from the earlier. But here, with the macro level details, if you want, specifically, let's say for the guitar chords to sound with a different rhythm altogether, for the cello to sound with a different notes, the music notation, there are time signatures. There's a lot more things to talk about. So yeah, I mean those things. It is very difficult for an AI to conquer. So yeah, and to be honest, AI is still in its
Learning phase.
nutshell. Yeah, in its nutshell, in its advent stage. It is still kind of coming out of its nutshell, its egg. Yeah, so it's not there yet. We yet have to get to know what are the uh, capabilities of AI, and we'll get to know it within 5 or 6 more years.
Right. There's another question. How did your friends influence your journey? How supportive were they?
When it comes to my friends, I think most of the people in the college were not supportive. They were kind of
Surprising.
very like they used to ask, "क्या कर रहे हैं अपनी जिंदगी से? Why are you doing this with your life?" So yeah, that is something which I understand where they are coming from, because I understand the thought process of, because they from their perspective, they want a job, they want a stable career. But since I've already reflected something, I understand that them not understanding me. That's what I would say, and it's fine. Like it's fine even if like so choosing alternative career is there's one thing that I would highly, it's a statutory warning that I would give. Whenever you're stepping into an unknown terrain, just uh, just make this up in your mind that nobody's going to walk with you. Be prepared to walk alone. There's no support.
Guts.
You have to be there for yourself.
So much guts are needed to do this.
Yes, yes. But then I think initial years of your 20s is something which you can experiment or not. I wouldn't like, for me personally, I would say, even if you don't want to take that jump, you can still get, like, if you love music, if you love audio engineering, you can probably get into software development of the audio engineering products. Like I said, Isotope Ozone made a plugin which infused AI in it. You can get into companies like that. You can probably create your own software as VST plugins, your own DAW, and monetize it. There are so many ways to go about it. It's not like you need to follow the passion, so you have to follow the passion in a very stringent form, like music hi banana hai. You can also make music softwares if you like it. In the same way, wherever your passion lies, you can make plugins. Like I've seen a lot of people in Figma making plugins because they love UI UX designing, but they are ultimately in the software development side of it. So yeah.
So, what do your friends say now? Are there any people who are
There were
contact
very,
with you?
yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. There were very few people who were supportive of it, and in the college, my classmates. I'm very grateful for those selective few people who have supported me, irrespective of my career choices. Especially Prashant Rajpal, Kaustubh, Devesh. Those people were really helpful in, pushing me towards. नहीं तू कर यार, क्या क्या फर्क पड़ता है तेरे को, तू कर, होएगा कुछ ना कुछ तो होएगा. Prashant was very supportive. Prashant Rajpal. So yeah. very
I hope
supportive.
they must be listening now and they will be very happy.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think so. I mean, they all have their busy lives right now, but yeah, if you look at it, like I think the most major support that I've gotten from my friends are are those people who are in the same music background, like those people who got the same knack as you, who want to get into the music, and who were into some other field altogether. So yeah, I think your tribe is something which you should look out for, because the tribe is going to help you.
Mm, right.
So yeah, my
Uh,
classmates from audio engineering college, they were very supportive.
right. Were there any mentors during your engineering studies who influenced your path and encouraged your creative pursuits?
No mentor as such, unfortunately. I wish I had mentors. But yeah, I'm really grateful for the teachers in Veset, because I mean, immense thank to Indu ma'am, uh, Anjali ma'am, Nupur ma'am, Priya ma'am. I think almost all the teachers out there, thanks to them, because of them, Lifna ma'am, I forgot her name. Uh, I mean, most of these teachers, I have outreach to them. I told them with immense honesty that I'm really not interested in doing this. I am actually interested in doing music, pursuing music. A few teachers said, "Ki, why are you doing this? It's fine. You should pursue music. Why are you even completing your graduation?" So, like my parents had this hesitation that I have to complete my engineering degree. Otherwise, it's not. We are not going to allow you to pursue career in any other stream. So that was like one thing which I wanted to get it over with. So yeah, all of the teachers and from Vesit surprisingly were very supportive. Even Roop Kala ma'am. So
I
yeah,
think we don't have these teachers now.
okay,
And
all right. But yeah, most of the teachers. I'm glad that you at least have Hindu ma'am.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
Priya ma'am, Lifna
Priya
ma'am.
ma'am. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Lifna ma'am. Yeah. So yeah, they were very supportive of it. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm being honest. I don't want to butter it up. I won't get anything after by buttering them up, because I'm already out of the college. So मस्का नहीं लगा रहा हूँ मैं. I'm on genuinely telling that because of these people, I एक छोटा सा courage मिलता था कि चलो at least my ma'am are supportive of it. So yeah,
They must be glad too now.
yeah, I hope.
Uh, you said you did a job before, so how was your experience with that?
Next gen, it was terrible. I'm honestly telling you, it was terrible. So the problem with next gen was it was good. The environment and everything was good. The only problem was being a network engineer, you don't, or a security analyst, you don't really have to do much.
Okay.
So, and when I used to sit in front of the laptop doing music production, I always have been doing some or the other thing. Like for 6 hours, 8 long hours at stretch, I used to sit and do something. When I entered NextGen, there was nothing much like, okay, I have to monitor the network, I have to monitor the alerts if in the production line, if there were any issues in terms of the network switches, routing. Like we had Cisco switch, so we had to do inter VLAN routing and stuff like that. So that was the only thing which I had to do. And once everything like network and security are those things once configured, you don't really have to do much. At least back in those days. So yeah, I used to once in a while throughout the entire day, I used to check out for alerts in the firewall, check out for any issues with the production line in the network. But that's pretty much it. So it used to get very boring.
Mm,
And yeah, there was this one point in time where there's something called as NAS, which is called as network access storage.
mm.
The files in the NAS got deleted, and that's when we got to know that every person in the company had access to the NAS, both read and write access. Somebody just used shift delete on all the files, and it got deleted. We don't know who it was.
Oh
After
my
checking
God.
the files, we got to know, and I was called for, and I was asked, "Okay, it's fine." And I was unaware of this because the guy who was like it wasn't my mistake, and even the production manager understood it. So he asked me, ki, "It's fine. I understand it's not your mistake, but we need to recover all the files any cost. So how can we go about it?" So I said, "Ki in NAS you have different hard disk. In those hard disks you have different clusters, so you can easily recover all those files even if it got deleted because in the hard disk." when you delete something, it doesn't delete the file. It basically marks that particular area of the disk as empty, and it overrides the data on top of that. So it doesn't really make all the hard disk uh, you know
Space
area as
empty. Huh.
zero. Yeah, it
Okay.
doesn't make it zero. So you still have those bits there. And using data recovery software, I was able to recover 70%. But that was a hell week because I
It
worked almost like what?
sounds so challenging.
Yeah, it was. So I worked for at least 72 hours. So I worked at stretch. I stayed in the company. I कंपनी ने मेरे को ब्रश टूथपेस्ट भी लाके दिया
Oh
कि
my
तू
God.
यहीं पे बैठ नहाया नहीं तो भी चलेगा बैठ काम कर खत्म कर सो या it was terrible, it was challenging, it was fun, but yeah, nothing is the only problem is the for me it gets boring when your work gets monotonous.
Mm.
But every day if you do some like you need work, you can't just sit in front of the laptop pretend like you're doing something and just get, you need actual work to do it. And I'm not one of those employees where you're someone who's pretending to work and simultaneously watching a movie or web series or something. So yeah, that's not me.
So we'll wait for a minute. If anybody has questions, please put it in the chat box of YouTube Live.
It's fine if not, we can end the session.
Okay. Uh, So, thank you everyone for attending today's session. It was truly an inspiring experience to hear Parimal share his remarkable journey from engineering to the music industry. His story of following passion, overcoming challenges, and thriving in a completely different field shows us that with dedication and hard work, anything is possible. We
Howard,
deeply
yes.
hard work. Sorry.
I can
we
already
deep
see where you're going.
We deeply appreciate Parimal for taking the time to provide valuable insights into alternative career paths and for motivating us to pursue what we truly love. His words have undoubtedly left a lasting impact on all of us. A heartfelt thank you to CMP and VReach team for organizing today's inspiring session. Special thanks to Indu ma'am and Priya ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for calling me, having me here. It was delightful. Wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you.